Hello, my name is Dr. Vicki Lynn Holmes, and I welcome you to an episode of A Word to the Wise, because as Scripture tells us, a word to the wise should be sufficient. You don't need to be taught how to be a witness. You already are one because, frankly, Christ is in you. The real question is, are you reflecting God well? Are you plugged into the light source? These 5-minute Word to the Wise lessons are designed to help you increase your light and thereby effectiveness in showcasing Him in your everyday life. We'll look to the Word to guide, equip, and build up our faith. Remember, God knows you and chose you for this. Let's shine brightly for Him. A lamp lights. That's what it does. You don't have to teach a lamp to light. It just will as long as two things are happening. One, the lamp is plugged into the source, and two, the lamp is turned on. Gideon. Each scene from his life speaks directly to the challenges we face as we decide to shine our light into skepticism and worldly rationalizations both inside and outside the church. Gideon was a young man from a respected family, but he lived in a time when faith had faded. The Israelites were suffering under harsh oppression, not because God had abandoned them, but because they had forgotten Him, turning to other gods, chasing after what the world offered, and ignoring the God who had rescued them so many times before. It's not so different from our world today. Even in the church, many know about God, but don't expect Him to be present or powerful. The miraculous feels distant. The culture around us, and sometimes even within us, doubts whether God really moves in our lives. Gideon felt the same insecurities. He was hiding from his enemies, feeling small, powerless, and unsure. Yet God met Gideon right there, in his fear and insecurity. God called him not because he was already brave, but because God saw what He could do through him. In the same way, God calls each of us to let His light shine through our unique personalities and circumstances, no matter how unqualified or uncertain we may feel. To Gideon's question, how am I a success? How am I mighty? When it comes to being a light and impacting our world, we may have the same questions. God responded, "You'll succeed because I am sending you." It was that simple and that profound. What God does succeeds. That is our answer too. Our confidence isn't in ourselves, but in the God who goes with us. God never dismissed Gideon's angst or doubts. Instead, He patiently provided signs and reassurance. Gideon asked for confirmation, and God graciously answered, not once but multiple times, with the fleeces, with the fire miraculously consuming Gideon's offering on the altar, and by allowing Gideon to overhear the enemy's own fear of God's power through the interpretation of the Midian's dream. God understands our need for reassurance. These signs boosted Gideon's confidence that victory was assured. While preparing this presentation, God told me that He would provide a sign that would let you know this is for you. It might be through a person, through a TV show, through something you read in the Word. However He does it, you will know that He desires you to be a bright, shining light, and that He Himself will equip, encourage, and shine through us. So, as we continue this series, remember, Gideon's story is our story. God calls us in these uncertain times, meets us in our doubts, and patiently prepares us to be shining lights right where we are, at home, at work, at play. Let's continue discovering how to let our light shine brighter, confident that God delights in working through each of us personally. To explore today's message further, check out the scripture references on the next slide. Until next time, and remember, a word to the wise should be sufficient.